Rowan Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to present a motion of urgent public importance, and it's a call on the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, to shelve its planned strike in the interest of the nation and embrace dialogue. They're almost. They're almost.
They have shelved the intended strike. You still want to take the motion?
They're almost. I think we can also lend voice. We can also lend our voice to it. They're almost.
Okay. Any seconder to the motion?
Okay.
Seconder to the motion. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, Kingsley Chinda, representing Obiakpo Federal Constituency. I'm an Ikwere man from Rivers State. My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I will second it and pray that we commend them, that's the NLC, for being considerate in the circumstances. I so second.
Point of order. What's the point of order, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues. My other point of order is not on the motion, which is very prudent at this time. But there is nobody to lead government business. There is no person to lead government business there. The whole seats are empty. Yes.
Thank you for the reminder.
Where are all the leaders?
My brother from Lagos.
They have all
Let it join him. Thank you. Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. But let me go ahead and present a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name once again is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Rowan Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. The House notes that the federal government announced on May 29, 2023, the removal of fuel subsidy as a means of saving the economy from total collapse and financial crunch. Also notes that this announcement has not been well received by the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, who believe that it was made abruptly without proper consultation with relevant stakeholders and will further impose hardship on Nigerians. Further notes that subsidies were initially implemented in Nigeria in the 1970s in response to the 1973 oil price shock, which caused a global surge in oil prices. If international rates were adopted, Nigerians would have had to pay more, necessitating the government to regulate local pricing for energy items. Acknowledges that subsidy payments have been depleting the national resources of our dear nation. Earlier this year, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited announced that the country spends over 400 billion monthly on petroleum subsidy, worried that over $10 billion has been spent on subsidy between 2015 and the present date. Additionally, the government budgeted a staggering 3.36 trillion naira for the subsidy payment between January and June of this year alone. Also worried that the continuous payment of subsidies has significant implications for the economy and the allocation of the scarce resources. Recognizes the rights of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, to engage in strike action on matters that impact the well-being of Nigerian workers. Also recognizes the potential consequences of the proposed strike, including increased hardship for Nigerians, loss of work hours and financial resources, disruption to economic activities, exacerbation of the country's economic challenges, and potential disturbances to public peace. Further recognizes that the federal government has chosen a dialogue approach to engage with labor leaders in order to find a way forward, considering the delicate nature of the issue. Believes that dialogue is the preferred option over confrontational stance by labor unions, as it offers the opportunity for fruitful deliberations, compromise, and a peaceful resolution of the issue at hand. The House resolved to call on the Nigerian Labour Congress to suspend its planned strike action and embrace dialogue. 2, urge the federal government to address the demands of the labor unions and seek an amicable resolution. And 3, mandate the House Committee on Labor and Petroleum Downstream to collaborate with the NLC and relevant authorities to ensure compliance with this resolution. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I so move. Thank you.
Seconder before amendment. Can we have seconder to the motion? Yes, Honorable Jah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ahmed Jah Hababao is my name. I represent Chibok, Dambua, and Goza Federal Constituency. I rise to second a motion ably moved by Honorable Edem. I so second. Thank you, sir.
It's a very straightforward motion. If you allow, I'll put the question. But you say you have an amendment.
Ranking by age, kindly have your seat, please. You are distracting the minority leader of the House. Kindly have your seat. I'm in charge today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Obinna Chidoka, member representing Idemili North, Idemili South, Federal Constituency of Anambra State. Honorable Jah, please, you are disturbing the House. I have the floor. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, from the motion you moved, which is very commendable, one of the prayers says to urge NLC to shelve the strike. The amendment I was going to make is that since they've already shelved the strike, is to commend them for doing so and continue to dialogue with government to find a lasting solution to the removal, to the amelioration of workers and the removal of subsidy that will augur well for our economy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The conduct to the amendment. Nella Raba.
Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba is my name. I rise to second the amendment ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Favor of the amendment, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. This is communication from the President. Right Honorable Femi Bajamila, CFR, Speaker, House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, 3 Armed Zone, appointment of special advisors. In accordance with the provisions of Section 151 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, which confers on me, the President, the power to appoint special advisors to assist him in the performance of his functions, I write to request the kind consideration of the House of Representatives to appoint 20 special advisors, while hoping that the request will receive the expeditious consideration of the House. Please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurance of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, signed. A minute, I'm coming to your own. Thank you, sir. This is an announcement from the Clerk, House of Representatives, Honorable Dr. Yahya Danzaria. This is to bring to the notice of members elect that documentation in preparation for the inauguration of the 10th House of Representatives National Assembly takes place as scheduled below. Date Saturday 10th and Sunday 11 June 2023. Time 10 a.m. daily. Venue House of Representatives Chamber, 0 floor, new building, National Assembly Complex. Member elect are to come with the unlisted document for documentation. Certificate of return from INEC, Code of Conduct acknowledgement slip, copies of academic credentials, 2 recent passport photographs. Also note that the inauguration of the 10th House of Representatives holds on Tuesday, 13th June 2023 at the House of Representatives Chamber. Dr. Yahya Anzaria, Clerk, House of Representatives, sign. Thank you. Yes, sir. Honorable Bago, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues. I'm Dacho Musa Bagos, representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency. From the peaceful state of Plateau, Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, I'm standing on Order 8, Rule 4, motion of urgent public importance on the need to investigate the checkpoint shooting in Maraban Jama Kuru of Jos South, Plateau State, that took place yesterday. That's all right, Mr.
Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndodi Godwin Del Melu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Schmidt Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. I rise to second the motion being moved by my brother, Honorable Bagos. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Bagos, you may go ahead and present your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right honorable colleagues, I remain Dacho Musa Bagos, representing the good, great people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency. From the peaceful state of Plateau, Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, the House notes that due to the rate of insecurity and killing of innocent souls in Nigeria, government put in place security checkpoints on several roads across the country to checkmate the state of insecurity. Also notes that there have been in the past complaints by citizens of being harassed or molested by security personnel at checkpoints. Also aware that yesterday being the 5th of June 2023, there was an unrest at a security checkpoint in Maraban Jama Kuru of Jos South local government in Plateau State between security personnel and some residents who were on their way for funeral but were stopped by security personnel of the Special Task Force, Operation Safe Haven, stationed at the
Honorable Abbas Adiogun, take your seat.
Stationed at the popular Voi Maraban Jama Kuru of Jos South. Also aware that the residents pleaded with the security personnel to allow them go to the mortuary to pick their corpse of their deceased for burial, and were only allowed access after an intense plea. Further aware that on their way back from the mortuary heading to church for funeral service, the same security personnel stopped them at the checkpoint, denying them right of access, while some youths on bike came down to plead with the personnel. One among the personnel shot 2 of the youths, thereby killing one 18-year-old, Mr. Kenneth Gyang, and injured one Emmanuel Pam. The victims were among the mourners conveying corpse from Zawang to Kuru for burial. concerned that after the security personnel started shooting sporadically, thereby making people abandon their businesses and vehicles in search for safety. The House do resolve. The House will observe a 1-minute silence in solemn respect to the victim who lost his life during the incident. Mandate the Commandant of Special Task Force, Operation Safe Haven, to investigate the killing of Kenneth Gang and ensure justice is given to his family and proper medical care for the injured Emmanuel Palm, who is currently in the hospital. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
My brother from Benue.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Cho Robert Amna. I speak for the people of Kiwande and Oshongo. I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague. I so second.
Colleagues, this is a very straightforward motion. It's investigative, so I now put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. May we please rise for 1 minute silence as contained in the prayer of the motion. May the soul of the peaceful party rest in perfect peace. Amen. Thank you. Respected colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of report of a conference committee on a bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for the prohibition and punishment of sexual harassment of students by educators in tertiary educational institutions and for related matters, standing the Honorable Akande Sadipe Tolulupe. Honorable Akande Sadipe is invited to present the report.
And I wish to present the report, Conference Committee on the Bill for an Act to make comprehensive provisions for the prohibition and punishment of sexual harassment of students by educators and other persons in and out of tertiary educational institutions and for related matters, 2023. I so move.
Seconder to the motion. At the eastwood end.
Speaker, Honorable Abbas Ajigu is my name. I represent the people of Ibadan Southeast, Ibadan Northeast Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion moved by my colleague from Oyo State, Honorable Tolulope Sadipe. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Sadipe may please go ahead and lay your report. Respected colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on Women Affairs on a bill for an act to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 to prohibit discrimination against widows and all forms of repressive and degrading widowhood acts, and to make provision for the definition of the offense of image-based sexual abuse.
Honorable Shadipe, take your seat. You are distracting rules and business.
For penalty for offenses of image-based sexual abuse and related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Tayo Oluga. All members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 17 February 2022. The report is ready for the presentation. Honorable Oluga is invited to present the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Adewumi Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulously united people of Ikene,
Shagamu, Remo North. I am from Ogun State, and I stand to move that the report of the Committee on Women Affairs on a bill for an act to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 to prohibit discrimination against widows and all forms of repressive and degrading widowhood acts, and to make provision for the definition of the offense of image-based sexual abuse under the Act, and make provision for penalty for offense of image-based sexual abuse and for related matters, HBs 1711 and 1804 be laid. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder to the motion, Honorable Maki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Madam Dori Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my senior colleague. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, the ayes have it. Honorable Luga, you may please go ahead and lay a report. Respected colleagues, the third business of the day is presentation of the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Land Resources, Technology, Rabah, Sokoto State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instructions and training in environmental sciences, agricultural technology, natural sciences, agronomy and extensions, and for matters standing in the names of Honorable Munir Babada Agundi. All members will recall the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 2nd February 2022. The report
Honorable Ibrahim Olariwaju, you are distracting those on business committee. Kindly take your seat, please. Thank you.
There is a way you do it. The camera is capturing, and those who are writing post verbatim are also capturing. So by the time you are interrupting, you are also interrupting their own proceedings. Thank you, sir. Please. Yes, sir. Please. Thank you, sir. No. I told you, allow me finish this one first.
Like you questioned Mr. Jaha, we may have to replace him with a
Thank you. Respected colleagues, I will take it once more again. The third business of the day is presentation report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Land Resources, Technology, Rabah, Sokoto State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instructions and training in environmental sciences, agricultural technology, natural sciences, agronomy and extension, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Babada Agundi, all members recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 2nd February 2022. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Babada Agundi is invited to present the report. You have the floor, Honorable Babada Agundi. Honorable Adi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, Ari Mohammed Abdul Mumin is my name. I represent the good people of Nasarawa Toto Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to second a motion heavily moved by a colleague I so second, sir.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Now Gundi may go ahead and lay a report. Respected colleagues, the fourth business of the day is presentation report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to amend the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board Establishment ETC bill and for the matter standing in the names of Honorable Aminu Suleiman. All members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Thursday, 21st July 2022. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Suleiman is invited to present the report. Chairman rules. Honorable Suleiman is not on the floor.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Aminu Goro is not on the floor. I move that this bill be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Consideration of the bill stepped down by the leave of the House. This presentation, of the report. Respected colleagues, the fifth business of the day is presentation report of the ad hoc committee to investigate the non-release of retention funds by ministries, departments, and agencies, MDS, from 2010 to 2020, standing in the name of Honorable Anika Omana. Honorable members will recall that the matters were referred to the committee on Tuesday, 23rd March 2021. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Omana is invited to present the report.
Go back to your seat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Anekan Mana, member representing
Honorable colleagues,
the unique people of our
kindly take your seat.
Constituency.
The House is rowdy.
State. Mr. Speaker,
kindly take your seat. Honorable Goni from Plateau, take your seat.
The report on the ad hoc committee to investigate the non-release of retention funds by ministries, departments, and agencies from 2010 to 2020. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Bamisele, kindly take your seat.
Seconder to the motion.
Honorable James Adisa from Lagos, kindly take your
Honorable
seat,
Jega.
please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Mohammed Umar Jega, representing Alero Gondu Jega Federal Constituency. Honorable colleagues, I rise to second the motion ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Honorable Hafiz Tarauni, kindly take your seat, please. You are distracting the sitting, please. Thank you. Honorable Consul Plateau, kindly take your seat. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, please, I still want to draw your attention that it is against our rules. Those of us who are standing by the aisles, it is against our rules, it's not allowed, and I want to beg of us to please conduct and converse for whatever we are doing in low tune, so that we'll give respect to the parliament and our hallowed chamber. I want to beg for that, please. Those of us who are standing, please, I want to also refer to you to our rules. It's not allowed. Adi, please. Colleagues, I want to beg of us. We are winding up. We must end up with a very good image of what our parliament is. I want to beg for that. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Now you may go ahead and lay a report. Respected colleagues, Honorable Akinjo, Honorable, please. Respected colleagues, the sixth business of the day is presentation report of the ad hoc committee to investigate the proposed domestication and processing of Nigerian international passport, standing in the name of Honorable Ibrahim Mohammed Hafiz. All members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 5th April 2023. The report is ready for its presentation. Honorable Hafiz is invited to present the report.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Hafiz Kau. I represent Taroni Federal Constituency. I am from Kano by the grace of God. I rise to move and lay a report on the ad hoc committee on the proposed domestication and processing of Nigerian international passport. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Seconder, Honorable Goni.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Muhammad Adam Al-Ali, Passage of North Federal Constituency, Plateau State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Hafiz Kau. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Kau, you may please go ahead and lay a report. The Respected colleagues, the seventh business of the day is presentation of the report of the ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory, asset, interest, and liabilities of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) and its subsidiaries before transfer to the NNPC Limited to ensure a glossary account system standing in the name of Honorable Uju Kingsley Chima. All members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 25th January 2022. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Uju is invited to present the report.
Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Jukin Silichema, member representing Ohajema Oguta, Oru Western Constituency of Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I'm here to present a report on ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory, asset, interest, and liability of NNPC and its subsidiaries. That the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory, asset, interest, and liabilities of NNPC and its subsidiary before transfer to NNPC Limited to ensure a glossary account system. I so move.
Seconder to the motion. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Joe Abdurrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, Lagos State. I stand to second the motion as moved by my colleagues, sir. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Ju may go ahead and lay a report. Respected colleagues, Honorable Kau, Hafiz, please. Thank you. The eighth business of the day is presentation of the report of the ad hoc committee to investigate alleged loss of over $2.4 billion in revenue from the illegal sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil in 2015, including crude oil export from 2014 to date, standing in the name of Honorable Magbila Tessa. All members to recall the matter was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 28 December 2022. The report is ready presentation of Mr. Honorable Mark Billa is invited to present the report.
Honorable Sadipe, take your seat. Kindly take your seat. Honorable Sadipe from Oyo.
Chairman rules. Your attention here, please. Honorable Mark Billa is not on the floor.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable William is not on the floor. I move that this bill be stepped down by the leader of the House.
Presentation of report stepped down by the leader of the House. Respected colleagues, the 9 business of the day is presentation of 6 reports of the ad hoc committee, of the Committee on Public Petitions, standing now Honorable General Alagboso. Honorable Alagboso invited to present the reports. Elder.
Thank you, my hard-working speaker and my colleagues. My name is Jerry Alaboso. I'm from Imo State, representing Olo, also in federal constituency, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to present 6 reports, namely, report of the Committee on Public Petitions by Honorable Femi against the Federal Road Safety Commission on a passionate appeal for resettlement. Mr. Speaker, another one is report on the House Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by ex-Inspector Ezekiel Bugan against the Nigeria Police Force. Mr. Speaker, the third one is reports on the House Committee on Public Petition on the petition by Olumebaji Odeoshu and Co. against the Nigerian Army and the Nigeria Police Force on the allegation of the gruesome murder of one Babajide Awolabi by soldiers attached to 19th Battalion Takim, Taraba State, one on national assignment with the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to present this report of the House Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Innovative Legal Services on behalf of Mrs. Julius Sefin Isehere Joy and 3 others against Federal Civil Service Commission and Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to present the report on the House Committee on Public Petitions on a petition by Modie family of Etiama land in Nembe Kingdom against Nigeria Jeep Oil Company Limited on allegation of neglect, abuse, and oppression by Ajib on the Tiama community in Nembe Kingdom in Bayelsa State, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, I rise also to present the report of the House Committee on the Public Petition by Miringi Otusage Uruma and the Lebele Youth Union against the Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board on allegation of aiding and abetting Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited and the WU Nigeria Limited.
Hey, Honorable Amir Umani from Katsina, kindly take your seat. Honorable Bagos from Plateau, kindly take your seat. Honorable Ahmed from Ilorin, from Kwara, kindly take your seat. Honorable Kumo from Gombe, Kindly take your seat. Thank you.
Point of order, my brother. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Woji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, in spite of your interventions, and Mr. Speaker, are you able to hear me?
Well,
Mr. Speaker, can you ask our colleagues to listen in silence? Mr. Speaker, are you listening to me?
He's raising a point of order.
Order!
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I know every member of this parliament is entitled to be listened to in silence. I have barely followed or understood.
Honorable Shadipe, please can you go back to your seat?
Parliament.
Honorable Shadipe, go back to your seat.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Shadipe, please, I want to beg. Shadipe.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
Honorable Chinyere.
Kumo, can you go
please,
to your seat, please?
Can we kindly take our seats? Honorable Sajos. Please. I think we may call for adjournment if we are not ready to do the proceedings. That may be better.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we have about 30 orders in this chamber to deal with today. We have a lot of considerations to do, and this session of parliament is about to be on its sunset. And we have parliamentarians who have bills to be considered, reports to be considered, and they are listed here. I do not understand the reason why we are finding it difficult to observe our rules, to listen to each other in silence at the twilight of this session of parliament. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues,
Honorable Serki, Honorable, please, you are in leadership and somebody is in a point of order calling us to order and we are doing a different thing. It's not fair.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I will also advise that the deputy whip is here now, and she is, by occupation, by responsibility, by the assignment of this parliament, responsible for keeping the house, to whip the house together. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, based on that, I think the representative from Chibok should now vacate the responsibility of performing the chief whip's job, so that we can have some order in this house. Maybe the jocular way he's been doing it has been responsible for enhancing the noise situation in the parliament. So I will ask the whip to retool and take over her responsibility. Thank you very much.
I still want to crave indulgence before my ruling on his own observation. That even as the observation are being made, Kumo and Co, you are still doing the same background noise. It doesn't help us. I'm begging us that let us conduct our affairs in accordance with our rules, and we should listen to our colleagues in silence. I want to beg. So your point of order is taken, please. Yes, sir, Honorable TJ.
This one is on.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I sincerely want to say I appreciate your effort to get some order in the House and Honorable Toby's contribution. But I think there are certain fundamental reasons why this is like this. A lot of people here do not have the order paper. So it becomes difficult to follow the proceedings. So, because the other paper guides you and prepare you for the next item. So when people don't have the other paper, they might not be interested in listening or be aware of what is going on. How to appeal that whatever needs to be done so that the other paper is made available to all, it will enhance the effectiveness of what we are doing today, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not known to us, so Chairman Rules and Business ensure that other papers are circulated to all members. Please.
Mr. Speaker, virtually all our machines are broken down. Yes, we are photocopying this other paper using other people's offices. It has been very, very difficult for us these days.
Well, I don't know how you want us to conduct the affairs. It means then members are right to say, if they don't have the order paper, how do you want them to listen and then...
Mr. Speaker, we have, but very few, yes.
I want to beg of you, do your best and circulate. Please. Yes, secondary. Look.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Onofiok Luke. By the grace of God, I hold a mandate of a Tinan, Mseribum Surubium Federal Constituency from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Jerry Alagbaso. I so second, sir.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Honorable Jerry, you may go ahead and lay a report, sir. Respected colleagues, the first order of the day is the third reading of the bill for an act to establish the National Center for the Coordination and Control of control of the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria and for related matters. Standing in the name of the House Leader, only members to recall that the House adopted the report of Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 1st June 2023. I therefore call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be read the third time. You may go ahead and take 1 to 10.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues. May I move that the bill for an act to establish a national center for coordination and control of the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria and for related matter HB 1596 be read the third time. Do I go ahead? I move that a bill for an act to establish Food Vendors Registration Council of Nigeria, charged with the responsibility of advancing the registration, training, and safe practice of raw and cooked food vending businesses and prevent double taxation, collection on members of the council by unauthorized bodies in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 2194, be read the third time. I also move that a bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Digital Forensics of Nigeria to regulate the practice, including qualification, training, and skill set of digital forensics among its members, and to determine the standards of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become registered members of the profession, and for related matters, HB 1491, be read the third time. I also move that a bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Agribusiness Management of Nigeria to promote the practice of professionalism of agribusiness in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 314, be read the third time. May I also move that a bill for an act to repeal the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigerian Act Cap D4 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Defense Industry Corporation of Nigerian Act 2023 to operate, maintain, and control subsidiaries and ordnance factories for the manufacture, storage, and disposal of ordnance and ancillary stores and materials, provide a comprehensive framework for the regulation of the manufacture, distribution, storage, and disposal of defense articles, support research activities in defense-related fields, and for related matters, be read the third time. May I also move that a bill for an act to establish Nigeria Institute of Plant Protection and for related matters, HB 109, be read the third time. May I also move that a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigerian Pesticide Council and for related matters, HB 1316, be read the third time. I also move that a bill for an act to amend the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria Act Cap T3 Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to ensure that only licensed or registered and qualified persons who exhibit thorough professional conduct, teach in schools, and provide for stiffer penalties and punishment for unregistered and unqualified teachers, and for related matters, HBs 308 and 550 be read the third time. I also move that a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education Technical, Gwaram, Jigawa State, to provide full-time courses in education and applied sciences, instruction and training in technology, arts, social sciences, humanities and management, and fields of related studies, and to carry out research in development and adaptation of techniques, and also make provision for general administration of such colleges, and for related matters, HB 1695 be read the third time. Finally, I move that a bill for an act to repeal the Builders Registration, etc. Act Cap B13 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Builders Regulation Bill 2023 to establish a council for the regulation of building in Nigeria, and for related matters, HB 2119 be read the third time. I so move.
So, Dodo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Olododo Cook of Gary Saka. Speaking for the people of Ilorin East, Ilorin South Federal Constituency, I'm from Kwara State, State of Harmony. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion raised by the leader of the House, all the chief for the bills from 1 to 10 to bring for third time. Thank you.
Fellow colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the bills be read the third time, say aye. Against, say nay. That's have it. Clerks is invited to read the long title of the bills.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish a national center for the coordination and control of the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish Food Vendors Registration Council of Nigeria charged with the responsibility of advancing the registration, training and safe practice of raw and cooked food vending businesses and prevent double taxation collection on members of the council by unauthorized bodies in Nigeria and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Digital Forensics of Nigeria to regulate the practice, including qualification, training, and skill set of digital forensics among its members and to determine the standards of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become registered members of the profession and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Agribusiness Management of Nigeria and to promote the practice and professionalism of agribusiness in Nigeria and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to repeal the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act, Cap D for laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act 2023 to operate, maintain, and control subsidiaries and ordnance factories for the manufacture, storage, and disposal of ordnance and ancillary stores and material to provide a comprehensive framework for the regulation of the manufacture, distribution, storage, and disposal of defense articles, support research activities in defense-related fields and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish Nigeria Institute of Plant Protection and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigeria Pesticide Council and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria Act, Cap T3, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to ensure that only licensed and registered and qualified persons who exhibit thorough professional conduct teach in schools and provide for stiffer penalties and punishment for unregistered and unqualified teachers and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Technical, Gwaram, Jigawa State, provide full-time courses in education, applied sciences, instruction and training in technology, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and fields of related studies to carry out research in development and adaptation of techniques, and also make provisions for the general administration of such colleges and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to repeal the Builders Registration Act, ETC, Cap B13, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Builders Regulation Bill 2023 to establish a council for the regulation of building in Nigeria and for related matters, third reading.
Bills read the third time and pass. Respected colleagues, the 11th order of the day is commencement of debate on general principle of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian content in programs, contracts, science, engineering, technology, innovation, and foreign matters, standing in the names of the House Leader. All members will recall the bill was read, transmitted from the Senate seeking for the concurrence of the House and read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd May 2023. I now invite the Leader of the House to move that the bill be read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Kiru Kaunye George. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Federal Constituency. I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigerian content in programs, contracts, science, engineering, technology, and innovation, NOPSEST, and for related matters, HB 2233, be read the second time. I so move.
Honorable Halims, seconder.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name. I am from Kogi State, representing the good people of Ankpa, Omala, Lamboro Federal Constituency. I rise to support the motion as moved by the leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigerian content in programs, contracts, science, engineering, technology and innovation, and for related matters. Second reading.
Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Berniwa, Krika Samagudi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, discharge of committees on reference on bills pursuant to Order 18, Rule 3G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. House notes that the under-mentioned bills were respectively read a second time and referred to the Committee for Legislative Actions. 1. Federal Medical Center, Uromi, Edo State, Establishment Bill 2021, House Bill 1562, referred to the Committee on Health Institutions. 2. Federal College of Education, Establishment, Federal College of Education, Ugoha, Establishment Bill 2020, House Bill 1560, referred to the House Committee on Tertiary Education. 3. National Institute of Agricultural Research, Oria, Edo State, Establishment Bill 2022, House Bill 1561, referred to the House Committee on Tertiary Education and Services. 4. Copyright Act Amendment Bill 2022, House Bill 1673, referred to the House Committee on Justice. Aware that the committees are yet to present reports on the bills, contrary to the provisions of Order 18, Rule 3G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives, to wit, any matter referred to any committee shall be treated within 30 days. Otherwise, the committee shall stand discharged after 60 days and the matter committed to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, House resolves to discharge the above-mentioned committees from the bills referred to them and commit same to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder to the motion. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, my very honorable colleagues, Mohammed Omar Bio is my name. I'm always standing and speaking for the people of Barutin and Kayama Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Kwara State. I rise to second the motion as moved for the discharge of the committees on referrals. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 14th order of the day is consideration of bill for an act to establish parliamentary college and for related matters. That's the one here, right? Respected colleagues, the 13th order of the day is a motion on the committee of bills standing in no on Babukar Hassan Flatter. Honorable Flatter is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Hassan Flatter. I represent Berniwa, Krika Samagudi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, a recommittal of a bill. House recalls that the mentioned bills were passed by the National Assembly and transmitted to the President. And the listed bills were passed by the National Assembly and transmitted to the President. 1. Federal College of Education Technical, Ako Abo Ewoye, Ogun State, Establishment Bill 2023, House Bill 430. 2. Federal College of Education, Mutum Bill, Taraba State, Establishment Bill 2023, House Bill 1136. House notes that some fundamental issues which require fresh legislative action emerged after critical analysis of the bills. House resolves to rescind its decision on the bills as passed and commit same to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder to the motion. Yes, sir. Leader.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Right Honorable Adeshegun Abdul Majid Adekoya, representing Ijebu North, Ijebu East, Ogun Waterside Federal Constituency. I'm an Ijebu man from Ogun State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the chairman, Rules and Business. Mr. Speaker, I so second. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Respected colleagues, the 14th order of the day is consideration of bill for an act to establish Parliamentary College and following matters. Honourable members recall that the bill was committed to Committee of the Whole on Thursday, 1st June 2023. The leader will move for its consideration. Leader. Yes, sir. Consideration. You are moving for the consideration of the 13th bill on parliamentary college, and any other one that may have to do with their office. You may go ahead and take them alongside. If they are.
There are 13. They are.
I referred you to the first one, which is parliamentary college for consideration. But you may go ahead and take all other bills that have to do with their office.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise as directed by the Honorable Speaker that all the bills here captured for consideration, right from item number 14 to all other relevant bills meant for consideration at the Committee of the Whole, that I move that the House do consider this bill respectively. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
That one's like the next one is your own. 14 up to 14 is your own. Yes, sir. 13 and 14. 13 and 14 on my order paper are your own. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, that is what I did.
I'm okay.
Is Jima Abdurrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion as moved by the leader that the constitution of report from 40 to 30 should be done. I do second.
Respectful, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Respected colleagues, the 17th order of the day is constitutional bill for an act to upgrade the College of Health Technology, Jahun, and provide for the establishment of Federal University of Health Technology and Medical Sciences, Jahun, Jigawa State, and following matters. All members will recall that the bill was committed to Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 31st May 2023. The leader will move for its consideration. You have done all those ones?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I took all of them, sir, concurrently.
Thank you.
Yes. That was what I did, yes. Clerk, you didn't hear me. That was what I did.
We didn't hear you reading them.
Okay, I took all of them, sir, concurrently. Except if you want me to do it one after the other. Yeah. Eh? Okay, he's now calling Honorable Miga to do it. Okay, please. I think honorable members should be a bit silent so that we can be able to hear ourselves. Please, honorable members, I plead with you, please. So Honorable Miga should take his own bill. Eh? Honorable Miga. Eh? Okay, Mr. Speaker, may I take on behalf of Honorable Miga? Number 9. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir. May I take on behalf of the honorable member who is not on the floor, sir? Eh? It's all right. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave and the leave of the House, I rise to move for the consideration of the bill for an act to upgrade the College of Health Technology, Jahun, and provide for establishment of Federal University of Technology and Medical Sciences, Jahun, Jigawa State, and for related matters, HB.
Honorable Ahmed Baba Ojaha, you say you are going to pray and you are roaming about.
Other bills, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, is a bill to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act, establishment establish Federal Medical Center, Uromi, Edo State, and for related matters, HB 1561. Mr. Speaker, item number 19 is a bill for an act to amend the Copyright Act, alter the long title of the act, make provisions for the definition of piracy, and include digital works in the list of works eligible for copyright under the act, and for related matters, HB 1673. I move for the consideration of the 20th item on the order paper, which is a bill for an act to establish the National Institute of Agriculture Research, ORIA, Edo State, to provide for courses and agricultural research and to make provisions for the general administration of the institute and for related matters, HB 1561. Another bill, Mr. Speaker, is a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Uboha, Edo State, to make provisions for the full-time and part-time courses and manpower training in education, and to make provisions for the general administration of the college and for related matters, HB 1560. Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, and for related matters, HB 1136. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Seconder. Yes, sir.
I stopped at 22, sir.
22, yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Maki Elleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Madam Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Majority Leader. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Respected colleagues, the 23rd order of the day is constitutional report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for the prohibition and punishment of sexual harassment of students by educators in tertiary educational institutions and following matters. All members recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 6 June 2023, on where Sadipe will move for its consideration. Sadipe, you are moving for the consideration of your own report.
Honorable Tolulope Akonde Shadipe of Oluyole Federal Constituency. I move for the consideration of the report from the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services, a bill for an act to amend the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board Establishment Act of 2021. Oh.
Sexual harassment. That's your own report.
Okay, sorry. Apologies. I was reading my JAM report I'm excited about. Okay. I move for the consideration for the House to consider the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for the prohibition and punishment of sexual harassment of students by educators in tertiary educational institutions and for related matters, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move.
Seconder, Honorable Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I, Honorable Adedeji Stanley Olajide, representing Ibadan Northwest Southwest Federal Constituency, I so second the move ably moved by Honorable Shadipe.
Respect colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Can we please pause a little, suspend our rules to allow Goro present his report before we proceed, so that we don't have mix-up. Yes, move for the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do its earlier decision in respect of item number 4 on the order paper, and to allow Honorable Aminu Goro lay his report. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder to the motion. Seconder to the motion. Yes, sir.
Representing Mindamani. I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by my colleague. And I so second. Thank you.
Respect colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. The next business of the day is presentation of the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education on a bill for an act to amend the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board Establishment Bill, ETC Bill, and for matters. Standing now, Honorable Aminu Suleiman. All members will recall the bill was referred to the committee on Thursday, 21st July 2022. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Suleiman, may you please move the motion for presentation.
Okay.
I am from Kano State, and my name is Comrade Aminu Suleiman. I represent Page Federal Constituency. To act that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services for a bill to amend the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board Establishment Act 2021 and for related matters, HB 1903, referred as contained hereafter. I propose, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Seconder. Yes, sir. No, behind you, sir. Engineer.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Engineer Sanu Bala, representing Kunchi Sanyawa Federal Constituency from Kano State. I rise to second the motion as heavily moved by Right Honorable Aminu Suleiman Goro. I so move, Chairman, Tertiary Education. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. You may go and lay at court, Honorable Goro. Respected colleagues, the 24th order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Police Affairs on a bill for an act to establish Nigerian Police Force College, training school and institutions to serve as centers for professional training of officers of the Nigerian Police Force and following matters. All members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 6 June 2023. Honorable Okumo will move for his consideration. Seconder to the motion. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, my name is Francis Charles Uduyok. I represent the Korabas in Paranin, Eastern Ogolo. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. I rise to second the motion that the House do consider the report as moved by the Chairman of Police Affairs Committee as so moved.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 25th order of the day is consideration of the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Land Resources Technology, Rabah, Sokoto State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in environmental sciences, agricultural technology, natural sciences, agronomy, and extension, and following matters. All members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 6 June 2023. On Munir Babara Agudi will move for his consideration.
Speaker, my name is Munir Babata Agundi. I represent Kumboto Federal Constituency of Kano State. I move to consider a report on the House Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions for a bill to establish the Federal University on Land Resources Technology, Rabah, Sokoto State, and for other related matters. I so move.
Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I stand to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Baba Agundi as moved. I so second, sir. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 26th order of the day is concerning a report of the ad hoc committee on the state of refineries to ascertain the actual cost of rehabilitating the Nigerian refineries. All members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 24th May 2023. On Brigadier Abiodun will move for his consideration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House. My name is Abdul Ghani Johnson. I represent the good people of Oshodi Solo Federal Constituency 2. I'm from Lagos. So I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the ad hoc committee on the state of refineries to ascertain the actual cost of rehabilitating the Nigerian refineries and approve recommendations therein. And I approve the recommendations as stated in items 1 through 17 as reflected on pages 591 to 593 of the order paper of today. Thank you very much, sir. I so move, sir.
Honorable Halims.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Halims, representing the good people of Ankpa, Omala, Federal Constituency, and I am from Kogi State. I rise to support this motion that has suffered several panel beatings, and today, having passed through the furnace, is now ready for presentation. I so move, I so support. Thank you, Mr.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Respected colleagues, the 27th order of the day is consideration of the report of the ad hoc committee to investigate the proposed domestication and possession of Nigerian international passport. Honourable members will recall the report was laid on Tuesday, 6 June 2023. Honourable Ibrahim Muhammad Hafiz will move for his consideration. Honourable Hafiz. Seconder, Honorable Goni.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Muhammad Adam Alkali, Ambassador of Federal Constituency, Plateau State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague, ISO second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. The 28th order of the day is considering the report of the ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory, assets, interests, and liabilities of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and its subsidiaries. All members will recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 6 June 2023. Honorable Jukisley Chima will move for his consideration. Are you also a member of the ad hoc committee? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Honorable Ifeanyi Chudimoma for Ihiala Federal Constituency On behalf of Honorable Jukins Chima, the chairman of the ad hoc committee. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I do move that the House do consider the report of the ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory, assets, interests, and liabilities of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and its subsidiaries before transfer to the NNPC Limited to ensure a glossary accounting system and approve recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Fatou Bolushola, member representing Ado Report, the fellow to federal constituency. I'm from Ekiti State. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by Honorable Shod Mama. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 29th order of the day is constitutional report of the ad hoc committee on COVID-19 on the 9th assembly session report. All members recall that the report was laid on Thursday, 1st June 2023. Honorable Haruna Michelia, Doctor, will move for his consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I represent the good people of Askra Bahawul Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on COVID-19 on the 9th Assembly Sessional Report and approve recommendations therein. I so move. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Mika.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, I am Honorable Saidu Yusuf Miga. I represent Jahun Miga Federal Constituency. I am from Jigawa State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Dr. Haruna Michelia. I so second. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 30th order of the day, respected colleagues, concerning the report of the ad hoc committee to investigate the alleged loss of over 2.4 billion in the revenue from the illegal sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil in 2015, including crude oil export from 2014 to date. Honourable members will recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 6 June 2023. Honourable Mark Bila Thursday will move for his consideration.
Mr. Speaker, the report was never laid, and therefore, Honorable Magbila is not on the floor. I move that consideration should be stepped down. It was not laid.
Leader, move for the House to move for the House. You say? Peter, it's not yet ready. Or is it ready? Supplementary order paper.
Mr. Speaker, we can do it later. Let us do the...
You say?
It's not yet ready. So we can go ahead with the committee of the whole reports.
Colleagues, we now move into constitution. Leader, move for the constitution of the... Move for the House to resolve into committee of the whole consider reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Most distinguished colleagues, my name is Benjamin Okezeka. I represent the people of Nigeria, starting from Bende Federal Constituency. I rise on behalf of the Leader of the House to move that the House proceed to the Committee of the Whole. I so move.
Seconder. Yes.
Thank you, Mabil. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I still remain Aminu Ashurmani representing Midamani. Mr. Speaker, I am from Katsina State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my leader, and I so second. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. House is hereby resolved to committee with the whole to consider the report. The first bill to be considered, respected colleagues, for an act to establish parliamentary college and related matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the report. Parliamentary college, colleagues, Honorable Osai. He has gone. Thank you. This is a bill coming from the Senate for concurrence, and it has been established different bill for needs. So now we'll go for the clause by clause consideration. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, 4, 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, 11, clause 12, clause 13, clause 14, clause 15, clause 16, clause 17, clause 19, 17, 18, and 19. The schedules, explanatory memoranda, and the long title. Respected colleagues, the second bill to be considered is that of is for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Technical, Ako, Ago, Wui, Ogun State, and for related matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the report. Again, colleagues, this is a very straightforward establishment bill. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, 9, clause 10, clause 11, clause 12, clause 13, clause 14, clause 15, clause 16, clause 17, clause 18, clause 19, clause 20, clause 21, 22, 23, 24, clause 25, clause 26, clause 27, clause 28, clause 29, it's stopped at 28. Thank you. Schedules and explanatory memoranda, long title. Respected colleagues, the third bill to be considered is for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian content in programs, contract, sciences, engineering, technology, and innovation, and following matters. I hope we all have the reports. Clause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, clause 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, plus 28, plus 29, plus 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. The schedules, explanatory memoranda, and long title. Respected colleagues, the next bill to be considered is that of an act to upgrade the College of Health Technology, JAHUN, and provide for the establishment of Federal University of Health Technology and Medical Sciences, JAHUN, Jigawa State, and for related matters. What are the issues? Any issue? Colleagues, now for the close by close. It's an establishment bill 2. Clause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, clause 11, clause 12, clause 13, clause 14, clause 15, clause 16, clause 17, clause 18, clause 19, 20. Schedules, explanatory memoranda, and long title. Respected colleagues, the fifth bill to consider for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act and establish Federal Medical Center Urumi, Edo State, and for related matters. I now invite the leader. Colleagues, I want to believe it's a very stable bill 2. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, and then explanatory memoranda and long title. Respected colleagues, the next bill to be considered, which is the 6th, is for an act to amend the Copyright Act, alter the long title of the act, and make provisions for the definition of piracy and include digital works in the list of works eligible for copyright under the act. And for later matters, I now invite the leader. It's a very stable bill too. Latter. What is the explanation for this? Is it only as contained in the act, or you just extracted areas for consideration and pull it out?
Mr. What?
The Copyright Act. I believe it's more than one sheet. Copyright Act. No, what I'm saying that if you are amending the act, it's repeal and enactment. So it should reflect all the remaining content, and we'll now see what is there. And I'm seeing just one small sheet.
I don't understand.
You should understand my question very well. That you are supposed to, alongside, produce the entirety of the bill, and now we'll see the area you are now repealing and then enacting. That's what's supposed to be.
Can we step it down?
For when? Because it's the last day.
Yeah.
I think we can take it since it's just one item. Digital works.
Let's just take it.
I think we can just take it.
With the understanding
that they will not insert any other thing.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's the clause and provision for you. Thank you. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Explanatory memoranda and long title. Respected colleagues, the seventh bill to consider is for an act to establish National Institute of Agricultural Research, ORIA, Edo State, and to provide for courses in agricultural research and to make provisions for the general administration of the institute and for related matters. Colleagues, it's an Establishment Act +1, +2, +3, +4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you sure? Yes. You want to know? Okay. Clause 8, clause 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, schedules, explanatory memoranda, and long title. Respected colleagues, the 8 bill to be considered for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Oboha, Edo State, to make provisions for time and to make provision for full-time and part-time courses and the manpower training in education, and to make provisions for the general administration of the college and for related matters. How many establishment bills for Edo State? This is the 4th one. In one day. Thank you. Colleagues, they close by close. Clause 1, clause 2, 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, 7, 8, 9, clause 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, clause 17, clause 18, clause 19, clause 20, 21, 22, 23, explanatory memoranda, schedules and explanatory memoranda. Respected colleagues, the 9th bill to be considered for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, and for related matters. I now invite the leader. The same thing is an establishment bill. Mutumbiu. I thought they have a pertaining here also. Colleagues, it is an establishment bill so straightforward. Clause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, clause 15, clause 16, clause 17, clause 19, clause 18, 19, clause 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title. The second, the first report to be considered is that of Conference Committee on a bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for the provision and punishment of sexual harassment of students by educators in tertiary educational institutions and foreign matters. And I invite Honorable Goro to give the synopsis of the report. Honorable Goro, he has escaped again. Well, I want to believe it is all a very straight bill by CIDP. Clause 1. Thank you. Oh, it's conference report. So you move for the adoption. CIDP. The amendment is just on the long title. Move for the amendment of the report of the conference committee. Move for the amendment of the conference report committee. Huh?
I've been distracted by the leader.
By who?
By the leader.
How?
I've been distracted, sir.
I don't know that. Move for the adoption of the report of the conference committee.
Okay.
Item 20.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the House do adopt the report of the conference committee on a bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for the prohibition and punishment of sexual harassment of students by educators in tertiary educational institutions and for related matters. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Seconder. Ali.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Respected colleagues, Ari Mohammed Abdul Mumi is my name. I represent Nasarawa to Federal Constituency. Mr. Chair, I rise to second the motion every moved by the Chairman House Rules. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The second report to be considered is that of Committee on Police Affairs on a bill for an act to establish Nigerian Police Force College, Training School, and institution to serve as centers for professional training of officers of the Nigerian Police Force on and following matters. And I invite Honorable Kumo to give the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My respected colleagues, Usman Bello Kumo is my name. I represent the good people of the Federal Constituency. I'm from Gombe State. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, this bill is a self-explanatory bill, seek to establish a piece of legislation to guide Nigerian police force training colleges, institutions, and schools. It will interest this House to note that from 1960, we have pioneer police training colleges in Ikeja, Kaduna, Oji River, Maiduguri, and Staff College Jos. Yet they did not have any legislation backing them. So this bill is seek to provide a legislation that will guide the activities of these training colleges. But they are meant for professional and capacity building. It is on this note that I seek the understanding of these, my colleagues, to kindly consider and approve this bill. I so move.
Respected colleagues, now the clause by clause consideration. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, clause 15, clause 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, clause 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, clause 26, clause 27, clause 28, clause 29, clause 30, 31, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, clause 40, clause 41, clause 42, 43, 44, clause 45, clause 46, schedules, expensive under a long title. Linda, that you carry this thing well, I don't know. The third report to be considered for that of Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on the bill for an act to establish Federal College of Land Resources, Technology, Rabat, Sokoto State to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in environmental sciences, agriculture technology, natural sciences, agronomy, and extension and following matters. I now invite Honorable Munir Babada Agudi to give the synopsis of the report. Honorable Kumo, take your seat. Honorable Manir, you have the floor. On Federal College of Land Resources Technology, Rabat, is your report. Do we proceed? Thank you.
What is university?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Colleagues, clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, 11, 12, 13, clause 14, clause 15, clause 16, clause 17, clause 18, clause 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, citations, schedules, explanatory memoranda, and long title. The special colleagues, the third report to be considered that other committee on the state of refineries to ascertain the actual cost of rehabilitating the Nigerian refineries, and I invite Honorable Gandhi to Johnson to give the synopsis of the report. Colleagues, remember this is resumption. We have started the consideration earlier on, and certain observations were given for Honorable Gandhi committee to see the possibility. You have the floor to guide us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Like the chairman said, this is the second time we are considering this report. In my first presentation, like I said, the aim of this of the committee is to determine the actual cost of rehabilitating the refineries. The Nigerian refineries, we have 3 of them. One in Port Harcourt, which has a capacity of 210,000 barrels per day. The other one in Warri, which has a capacity of 125,000 barrels per day. And the third one is in Kaduna, with a capacity of 110,000 barrels per day. The combined capacity of the 3 of them is 445,000 barrels per day. During our exercise, we noticed that Port Harcourt refinery has been awarded, and it is expected that the first phase of that refinery will go on stream in September this year. The first phase, which has a capacity of 60,000 barrels per day. Although the optimal capacity, according to that design, is only for 90%. So 60%, 90% of 60,000, we are looking at 54,000 barrels per day. By the end of the year, we expect phases 2 and 3 to go on stream, which will give us a total capacity of about 189,000 barrels per day. Warri, yes, it's assumed that we have a quick wins. According to the agreement, it's supposed to be on a quick wins basis, which implies that we are only looking at 60% of 125 to be at the end of the design, at the end of the quick fix rehabilitation. So if a combined capacity of 189 and 60% of Warri, if done within the time lag, we are hoping that the issue of fuel subsidy with whatever we get from Dangote refineries will be a thing of the past. So, honorable colleagues, I hereby recommend I hereby seek for your approval the recommendations stated in this report. So thank you very much, sir.
Respected colleagues, now for the close recommendation. Recommendation 1, carried. Recommendation 2, carried. Honorable Chinde, you have observation?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kingsley Chinda. My dear colleagues, I'm truly a little bit at a loss considering the recommendations, because if you look at the first paragraph, the committee could not ascertain the cost of rehabilitating the refineries clearly. And then the recommendations are that these refineries should be rehabilitated. So I begin to wonder, what have we actually done? Because it's clear that we are not happy that information, we didn't get all the required information as to ascertain what it will cost the country to rehabilitate the refineries. So why are we recommending that it should be rehabilitated?
I think why we stepped down the report last time, we wanted to find out value for money in terms of what has been invested and the percentage of work so far done. But that they cannot complete and the house is winding up. I will beg that we pass these recommendations and then allow the next house to work on the same report possibly and see how. Thank you, sir. That may be an additional. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Thank you very much. My name is Jim Ibrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, Lagos State. Mr. Chairman, I just want to salute your courage for what we are doing today, simply because we actually agreed that this thing should be brought back today. And it has been brought back. I think there is need for us to do the necessary thing and consider it done. Thank you, sir.
Recommendation 2, carried. Huh? Recommendation 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it has been captured now in recommendation 6. Thank you. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Honorable Ganiu Johnson, thank you very much for the good job. Grateful. Which is that report? Huh? The fifth report to be considered that of ad hoc committee to investigate the proposed domestication and processing of Nigerian international passport. And I invite the Honorable Hafiz to give the same of the report. Honorable Hafiz. Somebody move for the consideration. There is a member of the other committee. I don't know. Honorable Jimo, I thought you moved for the consideration. Give us the synopsis. No, you move for the consideration. It means then you have every information at your fingertips. Can you speak to the report? There are issues. Though. He knows the reason why. Goni? No, I thought Goni. Goni moved the motion for before the ad hoc committee.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, and I can number 20. Okay. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I rise to move that the House do consider report of the committee of the ad hoc committee to investigate the proposed domestication and processing of the Nigerian international passport and approve the recommendation therein. The report was laid on the 6th. During the sitting of the committee, Honorable Chairman, the committee made the following findings: that an e-passport project is technically based and not a security printing tax, as with the MRP era. Number 2, that the security printing aspect of the e-passport constitutes only 13% of the various components of an e-passport. Number 3,
you are not addressing the issue, sir. The synopsis we expect to have from you: one, there was. Sorry, sir. Listen to me. Listen to me so that you can talk if you want to address the matter. There was a motion that came on floor of the House because a memo was supposed to go to Federal Executive Council for approval, and so we told that what we were asked was this Federal Executive Council to stop that approval and then look into the activity of this particular company and advise the House. I thought you would have now given us, because somebody raised as an issue that day, and it's something that I will consider quite very serious. And if you have done a job, we expect a very thorough reporting, because it has to do with finances, talking about CBN, foreign currency. I mean.
Yes, that is why I'm trying to narrate the findings of the committee before we now go to the recommendations. The recommendations of the committee.
Because the findings are not in there, and we do not have the reports.
Okay, I think that should be best be done by the chairman, because what we have here is the findings of the committee and the recommendation that the committee thought will be given to the House. So I think we leave it until the chairman is back.
Please, with the full prayer that what we are going to do, God will be with us. Thank you. Recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you. Okay. The 5th report to consider is that of ad hoc committee. Sorry, is the one we just carried. The 6th report to be considered that of ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory asset. No, this one was okay. It was taken, but ad hoc committee. The 6th report to consider that of the ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory asset, interests, and liabilities of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and subsidies. I now invite Honorable Oju to give the synopsis of the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Honorable colleagues, my name remains Honorable Ujukins Lichima, member representing Ohajem Oguta, Oru West Constituency of Imo State. Mr. Chair, this committee was born out of a motion moved by Honorable Isiaka some time ago, and it is in compliance with Section 53 of the Petroleum Act, which mandates an NPC and Federal Ministry of Finance and Petroleum to harmonize the asset and liability of an NPC Limited, which is an NPC transferable to an NPC Limited. Mr. Chairman, we moved into action. We invited almost all the subsidiaries, though greater percentage of them did not comply in terms of responding to our requests from them, but we're able to get responses from both CBN, Auditor General of the Federation, NNPC, this submission as well, and some of the few subsidiaries that were able to do submission. Mr. Chairman, we discovered that NNPC has 25 subsidiaries in their annual financial reports, though in real practice what was about 21 subsidiaries. So this account, we asked why. They said some of them were actually paper companies, that they don't need to enlist them in their annual financial statements. Mr. Chairman, when we moved in, we were able to discover that out of the 25 subsidiaries, NAPIMS had an asset that is about 4.something trillion above that was given in an NPC financial statement. And when we asked questions, we were informed that this is so because NAPIMS controls the assets of the Federation and not only assets of the NNPC. And on this note, we were meant to understand again that there's additional liabilities which NNPC was about to transfer to the new company from the IOCs to the tune of about $1.5 billion. And this again was actually supposed to be the cash call liabilities. And when we asked questions again, NNPC informed us that this $1.5 billion cash call asset liability, that was supposed to transfer to NNPC Limited was born out of a lot of investments done by NNPC in the past through the IOCs, which were not actually funded by NNPC, and they will not throw them away. And that was why they are inheriting these liabilities. So we have our own observations, which the NNPC tried to tell us why they had to transfer the liabilities to NNPC Limited. But in the retransfer of assets, Mr. Chairman, from our findings, the worth of NNPC as of today is $64 billion. That is about 28 trillion naira, as it was unveiled by NNPC Limited to Mr. President. And out of this $64 billion, during unveiling, during the proper transfer of the asset, what they transferred was $58.8 billion. That's about 26 trillion naira at official rate of 450 naira per dollar. And this is what was transferred. But in our calculation, during our mathematical analysis, we discovered that the figure given by NNPC Limited is different. During the unveiling to Mr. President is in differentials with about 2 trillion. And based on this, we recommend that the federal government and the NNPC should reassess the exact value to determine why there's a difference of $2 trillion. So, 2 trillion naira, 2 trillion naira, not $2 trillion, sorry. So on this account, Mr. Chairman, I will have the findings which I don't need to start reeling out, but I'm urging the House to, as a matter of national progress, to help actually approve this report. Thanks, I so move.
Respected colleagues, clause 1, recommendation 1, sorry. I'm sorry. 2, 3. That's all. I've asked him to do it. Recommendation 4, 3, sorry.
3 appears to, there is something that is omitted in recommendation 3. If I have the same document, that external auditor should either ascertain or confirm, or something is omitted, yes. That external auditor should the liabilities of over 2 trillion naira being inherited. I think we should just correct it before we carry it.
Could you?
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I think the correct thing there is ascertain the liabilities of over 2 trillion being inherited by NMPC Limited on behalf of the Federation. So ascertain should be there, Mr. Chairman.
Sir, amended. 3, sorry, as amended. Carried. 4. But you didn't tell us the value of the NNPC. Yes, sir.
What they unveiled to Mr. President was 26 trillion. Is there on the based on 450 naira per dollar. Is it for? Where is it? You there, no.
I think we are just, the truth of the matter, you didn't address what you are assigned to do. If you go through the report, it does not address those issues. I said their report didn't address the issues as contained in our motion.
To do is to establish the asset of an NPC.
Yes.
And that is what we did here, Mr. Chairman. Hello, sir. According to the financial statement of 2021, the exact assets, the current liabilities is 13.something trillion.
2021, NNPC wanted about year?
2021.
Okay.
Yeah. And their financial statement comes like about 6 months after the new year. That's how they do it. It's not in retrospect.
I think you are not asked to look into the financial this thing. You are asked to go and determine. Determine means you and determine independent work.
That's what we did. That was what we said there, that when they are unveiling, that they gave a figure to Mr. President for 26 trillion. 26 trillion, but when they were actually 28 trillion, but when they were transferred, they transferred 26 trillion. And that was what recommended here, that the 2.something trillion, that should, federal government should liaise to ascertain why the difference of 2.something trillion. Maybe check on page report.
Said in your own recommendation, it said this is the value, this is A, B, C. It's not asked not to go into that finding. No. As you find, you put in Susan in the recommendation. That will have completed their work. Except if we are going to say work in progress. Thank you. Otherwise, no. You have not addressed, you have not done the politics, sir. Recommendation 5, 6, 7. And maybe just like the New Johnson Committee to plead with the next assembly to look into this matter. Thank you. Can somebody move the additional recommendation so that we'll have, yes, sir. Now will be the recommendation 7. 8, sorry. It will not be 8, additional. Just like the New Johnson Committee have recommended for the next assembly to look into the matter, so that the report will not be dumped.
No, Chairman, sir, recommendation 4. I thought you were querying it before, sir.
8.
Recommendation 4.
Additional.
No, no. The recommendation 4, sir.
Yes, sir.
I thought you were querying that before. It should be the evaluation from time to time. That issue of devalued naira should be off it, sir. The evaluation from time to time.
Time to time is no. Yes. Why we are doing that is to ascertain the level of investment, and then all this, which is a very good motion, but it has not captured, and we have missed the main target of the committee assignment, and that's why we are saying we have to proceed. They have to look into it in the 10th assembly.
Okay. So the 10th assembly should be, the recommendation, I would recommend that the 10th assembly should further consider this report.
Thank you.
So,
Seconder. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, I, Tajuddin Adekunle Obasa, representing Ojo Federal Constituency from Lagos, I hereby arise to second the motion as heavily moved by Honorable Edwin. I so second. Thank you.
Honorable Uju.
Thank you, colleagues. Carried. The next report to be considered is the data report on the ad hoc committee on COVID-19 on the 9th Assembly's second report. I now invite sessional report. I now invite Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia to give the censure report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable members, I remain Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I speak for the people of Askra Overhaul Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, COVID-19 was initially set up as an ad hoc committee in 2020 following the outbreak of COVID-19. And after about a year, it was made a semi-standing committee when the pandemic was still going on. At that time, we submitted an interim report. Just some few days ago, I submitted the final report, which was late, and graciously the House accepted the presentation this morning. The highlights is that we interacted with all MDS that were involved in the mitigation efforts. We were able to oversight some of them, and following that, we came up with about 5 recommendations, which is presented in this order paper today for approval of this Honorable House. I so submit the synopsis, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Michelia. Recommendation 1. Recommendation 2. I want to say the constitutional amendment is belated. The constitutional amendment have carried out this particular assignment. Michelia, I'll be aware the Commission 2 has been carried out during the last constitutional assignment review that we did. So it's belated.
Recommendation 2, you said?
Yes.
That the government should treat health as a business.
Health business as agricultural business. We did that in the constitutional amendment.
Oh, okay. So it's belated. So we
belated. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
3. Carried. 4. 5. Thank you. No, we have done that. It has been done. We have done now. You can do your practice as you take another, because it is not allowed for medical professionals to open their businesses. It's carried. It's carried. It has been done. The 8th report to be considered is that of ad hoc committee to investigate alleged loss of 2.4 billion. We have stepped down this one during because it has not been laid. I will please that tomorrow before validity session, whether we can carry out, take on this report, lay and then consider. Thank you. I think that's all. Move that will revert to plenary leader to report progress.
Mr. Chair, distinguished colleagues, Comrade Peter Ohionzode Akpatasin MNI. I represent Akoko Federal Constituency. I am from Edo State. I move that this committee revert to plenary to report progress. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, I so move.
Honorable Kalu. Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, my name is Benjamin Okezekalo. I represent the people of Nigeria, starting from Ben, the Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the leader. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. House is hereby to revert plenary to report progress. Salam. Thank you. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered a report on the bill for an act to establish a parliamentary college and following matters approved clauses 1 to 19, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. The House and the Committee of the Whole considered a report on the bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Education, Technical, Ago, Woi, Ogun State, and following matters approved clauses 1 to 28. The schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered a report on the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian content programs, contracts, science, engineering, technology, and innovation, and following matters approved clauses 1 to 36. The schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. The House and the Committee of the Whole, respected colleagues, considered a report on a bill for an act to upgrade the College of Health Technology, Jahun, and provide establishment of Federal University of Technology, Health Technology, and Medical Sciences, Jahun, Jigawa State, and following matters approved clause 1 to 2, schedules, the long title, and the explanatory memoranda. The House and the Committee of the Whole, respected colleagues, considered a report on the bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act and establish the Federal Medical Center, Urumi, Edo State, and following matters approved clause 1 to 3, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for an act to amend the Copyright Act, alter the long title of the act, make provisions for the definition of piracy and digital works in the list of works eligible for copyright and under the act, and following matters and approved clauses 1 to 9, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to establish the National Institute of Agricultural Research, Oria, Edo State, and for these matters, and to provide for to establish the National Institute for Agricultural Research, Oria, Edo State, to provide for courses in agricultural research and to make provisions for the general administration of the institute, and for related matters approved clauses 1 to 29, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Education, Ogboha, Edo State, and to make provisions for the full-time and part-time courses and the manpower training in the education, and to make provisions for the general administration of the college and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 23, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, approved clauses 1 to 29, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Conference Committee on the bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for the prohibition and punishment of sexual harassment in of students by educators in tertiary educational institutions, and following matters adopted the recommendation of the Conference Report Committee. The House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the Committee on Police Affairs on a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Police Force College Training School and institutions to serve as centers of professional training of officers of the Nigerian Police Force, and for related matters approved clause 1 to 46. They schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the report. The House and the Committee of the Whole, respected colleagues, approved the report of the Committee on Agriculture Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Land Resources Technology, Rabat, Sokoto State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instructions, and training in environmental sciences, agricultural technology, natural sciences, and extension, and for related matters approved clauses 1 to 29, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered a report of the Ad Committee on the state of refineries to ascertain the actual cost of the rehabilitating the Nigerian refineries, and approve recommendation 1 to 17 of the report. The House and the Committee of the Whole, respected colleagues, consider the report of the ad hoc committee to investigate the proposed domestication and processing of the Nigerian international passport and approve process recommendation 1 to 8 of the report. The House and the Committee of the Whole, respected colleagues, consider the report of the ad hoc committee to ascertain the total inventory, inventory, assets, interest, and liabilities of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and its subsidiaries and before transfer to NNPC Limited to ensure a glossary accounting system. Approved recommendation 1 to 2, recommendation 3 as amended, approved process recommendations 4 to 7, and additional recommendation 8 of the report. Lastly, respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on COVID-19 on the 9th Assembly session report and approve recommendations 1 to 5 of the report. Leader, move for the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Comrade Peter Ohionzuje Akpatasin MNI, I represent the great people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. I move that this House do adopt the reports of the Committee of the Whole as presented by Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Yes, Honorable Khan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Most distinguished colleagues, my name is Benjamin Okezekalo. I represent the good people of Nigeria, starting from Bende Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Respected colleagues, just be a little bit patient. We have more issues under supplementary for consideration. I pray you'll be patient so that we tally. Today is the last sitting. I want to believe so. Yes. Well, Leader, Chairman rules. Move for the suspension of our rules to enable us to take the third reading of the bills. We have gone through them for the third, so that we have the third reading of the bills.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Borneo Agric Assembly of the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that we do suspend our excellent rules to enable us to take third reading of all the bills so considered today. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable. Yes, sir. Sada. Second.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman Rules and Business. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Against any. That's the interest voice could be heard very loud. Thank you. Leader, move for the third reading of the bills taken today so far.
Are they here? Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, once again, I rise to move for the third reading of the bill so considered. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
I said maybe use the word all the bills considered today.
Mr. Speaker, I come again.
If you don't want to go through them one after the other.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for all the bills that have been considered for today. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and second. Are you an interested party?
Aye. Right Honorable Adeshegun Abdul-Majid Adekoya, representing Ijebu North, Ijebu East, Ogun Waterside Federal Constituency. I'm an Ijebu man from Ogun State. I stand to second the motion that all the bills taken today be read the third time, as moved by the leader. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Clerk is invited to read long titles of the bills.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish parliamentary college and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Education Technical, Ago-Iwoye, Ogun State, and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigerian content and programs, contracts, science, engineering, technology, and innovation, and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to upgrade the College of Health Technology, Jahun, and provide for establishment of Federal University of Health Technology and Medical Sciences, Jahun, Jigawa State, and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers and establish Federal Medical Center, Uromi, Edo State, and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Copyright Act, alter the long title and of the act, make provision for the definition of piracy, and include digital works in the list of works eligible for copyright under the act and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish the National Institute for Agricultural Research, ORIA, Edo State, to provide for courses in agricultural research and make provision for the general administration of the institute and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Ugoha, Edo State, and to make provisions for full-time and part-time courses and manpower training in education, and to make provision for the general administration of the college and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Education, Mutumbiu, Taraba State, and for related matters, third reading.
This is read the third time and pass. Third, flatter. This supplementary was one. The main purpose was for the motion, the communication from the president for us to approve. But I'm seeing here. It's not here. It's not on the guide. It's not there. No, no present. So, but this is the main work. This is the main work. Respected colleagues, the next business for the day is presentation of the report of the Committee on Interparliamentary Relations, Foreign Affairs, and ECOWAS Parliament to appraise the benefit of contribution of ECOWAS towards the socio-economic development of Nigeria in the last 10 years, with a view to determining the justification of the country's financial contribution to the sub-region organization standing in the name of Zakari Galadima. Honorable Galadima is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Zakaria Mohammed Galadima, member representing the people of Benija Kusko from Yobe State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to present a report of the ad hoc committee to look into the activities of ECOWAS as mentioned by you. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House do receive the report of the Committee on Interparliamentary Relations, Foreign Affairs, and ECOWAS Parliament to appraise the benefit and contribution of ECOWAS towards the socio-economic development of Nigeria and Nigerians in the last 10 years, with a view to determine the justification of the country's financial contribution to the sub-regional organization. I so move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, respected colleagues. I remain Honorable Vincent Ofumelo. I represent to Iyaya Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that the bill should be considered. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honorable
Report
colleagues.
be received, not late or something, not bill. Respect colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. From Zakari, go ahead and lay a report. Respect colleagues, the next business of the day is presentation of the report of the conference committee on a bill for an act to provide the establishment of Nigerian French language village as inter-university center for French studies and related matters, standing in the name of Abubakar Fulata.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Fulata. I represent Borneo Agrika Samagudi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do receive the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigeria French language village as an inter-university center for French studies and for related matters. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Mika.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm Honorable Said Yusuf Miga. I represent Jahun Miga Federal Constituency. I'm from Jigawa State. I rise to move the motion ably moved by Honorable Member Plata. I so second.
Thank you, respectfully. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Honorable Plata, go ahead and lay a report. Respected colleagues, the next item of the day is motion the second reading of bill for an act to amend the Public Procurement Act 2007 to provide for the inclusion of the Nigerian Institute of Architects in the membership of the National Council of Procurement, payment of 30% mobilization fee to contractors as well as project consultants, promotion of local content in procurement and solicitation and for related matters, standing in the name of the Leader of the House. Leader, you are invited to move the motion for the second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill for an act to amend the Public Procurement Act 2007 to provide for the inclusion of the Nigeria Institute of Architects in the membership of the National Council of Procurement, payment of 30% mobilization fee to contractors as well as project consultants, promotion of local content in procurement solicitation and for related matters, HB 2239, be now read for the second time.
Yes.
Thank you, most distinguished Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Benjamin Okezekal. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the bill be read second time say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Clerk is invited to do long title with the bill.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Public Procurement Act 2007 to provide for the inclusion of the Nigerian Institute of Architects in the membership of the National Council on Procurement, payment of 30% mobilization fee to contractors, as well as project consultants, promotion of local content in procurement solicitation and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee of the Whole. Respected colleagues, the next Respected colleagues, the next business of the day is a motion on the appointment of special advisors to the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Alasan Adodogwa. I now invite the Leader of the House to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my dear colleagues. Once again, Comrade Peter Ohianzoja Akwatisin MNI, representative of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House do note that pursuant to the provision of Section 151 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, has power to appoint special advisors to assist him in the performance of his functions. Further notes that the President, in his message of 2nd of June 2023 to the House of Representatives, has requested the House for approval to appoint 20 special advisors. Aware that Section 15 sub 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria empowers the National Assembly to prescribe by law or resolution the number of such advisors and their remuneration and allowances. Further aware that certain political, public, and judicial office holders' salaries and allowances, etc., Amended Act 2008, Section 2, Part 1A, prescribe the remuneration and allowances of such special advisors. Resolved to A, approve the request of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in line with provisions of the Constitution, Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, and other extant laws. Transmits to the Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria, for concurrence. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Order. No, point of order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My point of order is constitutional, and it has to do with the section that has been quoted here. Under the aware that Section 15.2, there's nothing like Section 15.2. It's 1512. That has to be corrected. Thank you.
Thank you. Point of order sustained. So, seconder. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I'm Tajuddin Adekunle Obasa, representing Ojo Federal Constituency from Lagos State. Having corrected the motion moved by the leader of the House, I arise.
Haphazard nature of the work that was done. That
Right.
Mr. Kembo.
All right, sir.
So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So let us not overbeat the.
I arise to second the motion as heavily moved by leader of the House. I so second. Thank you.
Colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. The next order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Public Procurement Act 2007 to provide for the inclusion of Nigerian Institute of Architects in the membership of the National Council of Procurement, payment of 30% mobilization fee to contractors as well as project consultants, promotion of local content in the procurement, solicitation, and for matters. Now, one of the members will call the bill was committed to committee of the whole on Tuesday, 6 June 2023. The leader will move for its consideration.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Public Procurement Act 2007 to provide for the inclusion of the Nigeria Institute of Chartered Architects in the membership of the National Council of Procurement, payment of 30% mobilization fee to contractors as well as project consultants, promotion of local content in procurement solicitation and for related matters, HB 2239. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
At the extreme answer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am from Katsina State. Amin Ashurman is my name. Representing Damani. I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by my leader, and I so second. Thank you.
Vincent. Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. please. Respected colleagues, the next order of the day is consideration of report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Nigerian French Language Village as an inter-university center for French studies and for labor matters. Honorable members to call. The report was laid on Tuesday, 6 June 2023. Honorable Abuka Flata will move for its consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Fulata. I represent Purniwa Krika Samagudi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do consider the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Nigeria French Language Village as an inter-university center for French studies and for related matters. I so, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Ganiu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House. My name is Abdul Ghani Johnson. I represent the good people of Oshodi Solo, Federal Constituency 2. I'm from Lagos. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the chairman on rules and business. I so second. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, the ayes have it. The next order of the day is concerning the report of the Committee on Women Affairs on the bill for an act to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 to prohibit discrimination against widows and all forms of repressive and degrading widowhood act, and to make provisions for the definition of the offense of image-based sexual abuse under the bill, and make provision for penalty for offenses of image-based sexual abuse and following matters. Honourable members recall that the report was led on Tuesday, 6 June 2023. Honourable Adomi Orumi Ononuga will move for his consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Otumba Adeomi Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulous United People of Ikene, Shagamu, and Remo North. I am from Ogun State, and I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Women Affairs on a bill for an act to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 to prohibit discrimination against widows and all forms of repressive and degrading widowhood acts, and to make provisions for the definition of the offense of image-based sexual abuse under the bill, and make provision for the penalty for offense of image-based sexual abuse and for related matters, HBs 1711 and 1804, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, I'm Honorable Mahmoud Abdullahi. I represent Agri Lapai Federal Constituency. I rise to second that the House do consider the bill as ably moved by my honorable colleague. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, that's a bit. Respectfully, we do have more bills that are on the way coming, and I believe before, so we'll just move the motion as they come by Honorable Deputy Chairman of Women Affairs. The next item on the agenda will be, the next order of the day is constitutional report of the committee for the establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery in Teje. I now invite the leader to move the motion for the constitution, alongside with Federal Polytechnic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, respected colleagues. I remain Honorable Barrister Vincent Ekene Dilichukwu Ofumelo, member representing the good people of Oyi and Ayamel Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for a report, for a bill, for an act, to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery at Ntejabog, Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move. Okay. So, second one, a bill for an act to establishment for Institute for Diving Technology in Anako, Anambra State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues. I so move.
Abulumini.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, Ari Mohammed Abdul Mumi. I come from Nasarawa Toto Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion of a bill, ably moved by colleagues 1 and 2. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, that's have it. Leader move for the House to resolve into Committee of Health to consider reports.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider a report. I so move.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker.
You have to be serious to produce those things. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, that's have it. To consider reports. Respected colleagues, the next bill to be considered for an act to amend the Public Procurement Act 2007 to provide for the inclusion of Nigerian Institute of Architects in the membership of the National Council on Procurement, payments of 30% mobilization fee to contractors as well as project consultants, promotion of local content in procurement solicitation, and following matters. I now invite the leader to give the synopsis of the report.
Mr. Speaker, what we have here is a bill for concurrence from the Senate, and it seeks to amend the Public Procurement Act to provide for the inclusion of the National Institute of Architects in the membership of the National Council on Procurement, and to also ensure the payment of 30% mobilization fee to contractors as well as project consultants, and promote local content, etc. These are innovations that are perhaps lacking in the original bill and that were considered to be very important to make the entire thing more useful to the nation and to the various industries. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, I therefore seek the support of the members here to consider it expeditiously. Thank you.
Is it a Senate bill or our own bill? This bill, is this Senate bill? So that just because we do not want to waste, otherwise I will have proposed that we include Institute of Quantity Surveyors because they play a very significant role in writing violations. But then, no, if you do this amendment now, it will be stalled. Otherwise, the correct institution to be included should have been Institute of Quantity Surveyors. Thank you. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Explanatory member 7. Explanatory member and long title. The next report to be considered is that of the Conference Committee on a Bill for an Act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian French Language Village as Inter-University Center for French Studies and for later matters. And I invite Babuka Flatter to give the synopsis report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. This bill is about the establishment of a French village center for the purpose of study and understanding of French language in Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, Nigeria is bordered by many French countries, beginning from Niger, Cameroon, Chad, and Benin Republic. There's a daily interaction in terms of business between Nigeria and most of these countries. Hence, the need for the understanding and study of French as a language in Nigeria. This report is a conference committee report. We've examined it and adopted the Senate version because it is the latest, ours being outdated. So I so submit, Mr. Chairman.
Respected colleagues, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 is it conference vote? 40 41 43 46 47 48 49 50 51 schedules explanatory memoranda a long title. Latter, can you follow our people so that the last bill that they should bring it for us, otherwise we are winding up. Colleagues, the next report to be considered that Committee on Women Affairs on a bill for an act to amend the Violence and Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 to prohibit discrimination against widows and all forms of depressive and degrading widowhood act, and to make provisions for the definition of the offense of the image-based sexual abuse under the bill, and make provisions for penalty for offense of image-based sexual abuse and for related matters. And now invite Ononuga to give the synopsis of the report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Honorable Adeomi Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulous United People of Ikene, Shagamu, and Remo North. I'm from Ogun State. I ask that the House consider the report and approve the recommendations therein for the amendment of a bill for an act to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act to prohibit discrimination against widows and all forms of repressive and degrading widowhood acts, and to make provisions for the definition of the offense of image-based sexual abuse under the bill, and to make provision for penalty for offense of image-based sexual abuse and for related matters. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, very colleagues. Now, for the consideration of clause by clause, clause 1. Clause 1. Side, I have issue. On page 3, what's the observation? Because you're all under clause 1. What's the observation?
My observation, Mr. Chairman, if you look at the weight of the punishment and look at the offense, the weight of the offense in section 1, and then they compare the punishment, the penalty rather, of 100,000, and look at the value of 100,000 and compare it with the offense. I think most of the people that commit this crime, you find that they can afford to commit this crime and pay the fine of 100,000 naira. So I think we should upgrade this fine beyond 100,000 so that it will serve a good deterrent. But 100,000, if you look at the value of 100,000 and compare it with the offense, I think we are not being fair. We are not being fair to the victim. Well, we are all gentlemen here. We should know what is reasonable compared to an offense of you know. Yeah, we should. Huh? This 100,000. 1 year to a fine or 200,000. I can pay 200,000 and avoid going to prison. Compare going to prison for 1 year and 200,000. No, they don't usually get both. You know our justice system. We should make it difficult in a way that if you take one, it will still be punitive, it will still be a good deterrent. If you take both, it will be worse.
$1 million is not sufficient. As for me, 1 million may not be sufficient. We want to eliminate such kind of abuses and the rest. Yeah. You know, it's too small.
Not all. Now you see what we are talking about.
Whoever is committing now knows that there's
Mr. Chairman, this is a crime that most of us are aware of. Or perhaps some of us, their relations are victims.
Honorable Onunuga, is this for concurrence or this is the first? Are we doing concurrence or whether it has passed in the Senate? That's the more reason why we should tighten the nose here.
We came to these figures, sir, but
praying that they are not victims, they are not perpetrators of such crime, have you?
Sir?
Praying that those who came to the public gathering are not perpetrators of this crime.
Maybe that's
if you have a daughter and she's made to undergo through this, what will be your own?
I think they knew that it would come to the floor of very reasonable, honorable members, and they will take it up and review it upwards, sir. So I quite agree with Honorable Solis.
To do this work,
sir.
Yes, the committee should have come out with more stringent recommendation.
Mr. Chair, I think we can actually review this upwards, sir.
Maybe help us, my brother. Yes, sir. I'll come back to you.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Juma Abdurrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, Lagos State. Inasmuch as I want to support Honorable Daddy Soli for what he has just said, and he has not mentioned a figure, I want to suggest an amount of 7.5 million and also 5 years imprisonment to serve as a deterrent to whoever. No, that's discretionary. Allow the judge. Somebody else can do that. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me do that. Let me do that on my own. Okay, I will say it was. Don't worry. 7.5 million naira for amount to be for fine and 5 years imprisonment or both. That's my suggestion.
Seconded to the amendment. Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. I am from Katsina State. Amin Ashurmani is my name, representing Bindaramani. I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by my colleague, and I so second. Thank you.
In favor of the amendment, say aye. Against any, the ayes have it. So, clause 2 as amended. Clause 3. 4. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, my colleagues, I'm very sorry. Mr. Chairman, after on page 2, that 15.1, we connected 5 years or to a fine not exceeding to 7.5. Then go down to a person who attempts to commit an act of violence provided for in section 1 of this section commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 1 year or to a fine not exceeding 200,000. I think that's one we should also correct it. We can have 2 million. 2 million. And also 3, a person who incites, aids, abates, or counsels. Well, that's 15.1. 15.1 is quite adequate. But 2 in the recommendation of the committee, a person who attempts to inflict, where you said 100,000, I think is that 100,000, that's the contention. So, what do we put it, honorable colleagues? Because it's here a conviction of a term of 3 years or a fine of 100,000. I can pay 100,000 and go free. Or both. So do we say 3 million? Each year 1 million. The judge can. We're putting a deterrent.
So to the amendment, honorable doctor.
As a deterrent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I remain Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I speak for the people of Accra of our federal constituency. I stand to second the amendment ably moved by Honorable Sada Soli, Jibia. I so second.
So, for those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Against, say nay. So, 2 again as amended in the clauses that he had proposed now and taken. You still have another amendment?
In
consolidation.
In consultation with the mover of this bill, or the chair lady. Also on page 3, where they said 100,000, she is recommending that it should be also 3 million. Then 3 million, 4, 1, that's another 3 million. 3 million or 2 million. And that's about it. Every 100,000 should be 3 million.
Yes, I think taking.
The jail time is okay. No, 2 years. 2 years, 3 years and 2 years.
Seconded to.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, my respected colleagues. I am Honorable Odubukola Oyewo. I represent Irekodun, Olaronda, Orolu, Osogbo Federal Constituency. I am from Osun State. I rise to support the amendment as ably moved by Honorable Sada Soli.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, the ayes have it. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, long title. That's the only one. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. My name is Jima Ibrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland constituency. What we have just considered now is violence, is a bill on violence against widows. I hope those that are coming at 10th Assembly will also do violence against the widowers too. Thank you.
Huh?
Violence against men.
Widowers. Do you have such cases? Where?
It could be in Plateau. It could be in Lagos. It could be in Plateau. It could be in Lagos. It might even be in Rivers. Honorable Chinda is there. Okay. Honorable Chinda, am I lying? Thank you very much.
Fellow colleagues, the next report to be considered is that of Committee on Health Institutions on the Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery in TJ and Anambra State and for labor matters. Colleagues, I beg of you to bear with us. They are still producing, and because we are winding up, we have to this concession to our colleague. +1, +2, 3, +4, +5, +6, +7, +8, +9, +10, +11, +12, +13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. You want to have it? You can have the copy. Especially when there are long title. It's one of the supplementary Establishment Act for Federal College of Nursing in J from our brother, Deputy Chairman, Women Affairs. You still have one, it's battling to bring. We don't want it to collapse. Flatter, approach them. If they are not ready with the second one, we revert to plenary report progress. Again. We have done the position there. My class. You are just bringing one copy and you are not considering your colleagues. Is it 25 clauses? No, is it 25 clauses? How will I consider something I'm missing? You see, I do not expect to find this thing like that. It's not so. It is parliamentary work. It's not fair. that the way to work, sir? You put me under pressure and I have now done the right thing for you. So members will be seated here waiting for you. How many questions? It's not fair at all. The next order of the day is consideration of bill for it's for consideration of bill for establishing Institute for Diving Technology, ANACU, IMLUM, Anambra State, charged with the responsibility of full-time courses in deep sea diving studies and related matters. Clause 1, 2 to 10, 10 to 25. Let's put it on there along 30. Just sit down. Don't. I don't know. Fulata, I've seen another introduced consideration again. On the ECOWAS one, I thought we agreed for it tomorrow. Why did you bring it again without consultation? You want to revert and then come back again? If you allow us, let's suspend the rule and take it here and go. That's all. Let suspend the rule. No, it's working for certain men. Flatter, move for the suspension of the rules. Suspension of rules to enable us to take it. Otherwise, we have to go back and then come back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, I move that we do suspend our excellent rules to enable us consider the second supplement to the order paper. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that we do suspend our extra rules to enable us take item number 4 on the second supplement to the order paper. I so move.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Still remain Aminu Ashurmani representing Bindawamani. I am from Katsina State, original issue of the House. I hereby second the motion heavily moved by my colleague, Chairman Rules and Business, and I so second. Thank you.
You see, look at very soothing recommendation and findings that we are supposed to have taken steps on it and act upon it, and you are just bringing it at the last minute. No, I pray the next parliament will not appreciate people like that. Clause 1, you saw the recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4. You have done a good job, and our people there, they are suffering. Yes, sir. Move the motion for us leader to debate the plenary to progress.
Mr. Chair, I move that we revert to plenary to report progress. I so move.
Mr. Chair, I rise to second the motion moved by the Leader of the House and revert to plenary to report progress. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against any, the ayes have it. House to say about to revert plenary to report progress. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report on the bill for an act to amend the Public Procurement Act 2007 to provide for the inclusion of the Nigerian Institute of Architects in the membership of the National Council on Procurement, payments of 30% mobilization fee to contractors as well as project consultants, promotion of local content in procurement solicitation, and for related matters approved clauses 1 to 7, the excellent memoranda and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Nigerian French language village as an inter-university center for French studies and for related matters approved and adopted the report of the Conference Committee. The House and the Committee of the Whole, respected colleagues, considered the report of the Committee on Women Affairs on a bill for an act to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 to prohibit discrimination against widows and all forms of repressive and degrading widowed acts, and to make provisions for the definition of the offense of image-based sexual abuse under the bill, and make provisions for penalty for offense of image-based sexual abuse and for related matters approved clauses 1 and 2, clause 1, clause 2 as amended, approved clause 3 to 6 of the and the long title of the report. Finally, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery in Teji, Anambra State, and approved clauses 1 to 39, explaining memoranda and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to establish the Federal Institute of Diving Technology, ANACU, IMLU, Anambra State, charged with the responsibility to provide full-time courses in degree ocean diving studies, and approved clauses 1 to 25, explaining memoranda and long title of the bill. Leader move for the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House do adopt the reports of the Committee of... Okay.
Which one? The Committee of the Whole also approved the recommendations of the Committee on Interparliamentary Relations and Foreign Affairs and approved recommendations 1 to 4. Yes, sir. He makes work under
Speaker,
pressure.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
I move that this House do adopt the reports of the Committee of the Whole as presented by Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Yes, Honorable Kalu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remember Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu representing the Federal Constituency. Rise to second the motion, ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Fulata move for the suspension of our rules to enable adopt the votes and proceeding of today.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Berniwa Kulika Samaguli Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that we do suspend our extant rules to enable us to adopt the votes and proceedings of today's sitting. I so move.
The third reading, yes. Move motion for the third reading of the bills so far taken.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Safulata. I represent the new Agrika Assembly Federal Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that we will suspend our excellent rule to enable us to take third reading of all the bills considered today. I so move.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jima Ibrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, Lagos State. I counted the number of us that are here right now, and I discovered that we are just 20 in number. So I give kudos to all of you. I give kudos to all of you that are waited. And Mr. Speaker, please take note. I therefore second that motion as moved. Thank you, sir.
Camera, take note of the 20 that are here. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerks is invited to read long title for the bills.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery in Teje, Anambra State, and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to establish Federal Institute of Diving Technology, Anapu Ayamelu, Anambra State, charged with responsibility to provide full-time courses in deep sea ocean, diving studies, and for related matters, third reading.
Respected colleagues, Bill read third time and pass. Move for the suspension of our rules to allow us adopt the votes and proceedings of today.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Safulata. I represent the new Agrika Assembly Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that we do suspend our rules to enable us adopt the votes and proceedings of today's sitting. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Zakari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Zakaria Ogaladima, I stand to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman of Rules and Business. I so support.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Move for the adjournment of the House.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I am Comrade Peter Ohionzoje Akpatasin MNI. I represent the wonderful people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Edo State. I move that this House do adjourn to Wednesday, the 7th of June, 2023 at 11 a.m. prompt. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Tomorrow, Wednesday. Do not forget validity start tomorrow by 10 a.m.
Mr. Speaker, point of correction on the earlier motion. I move that this House do adjourn till Wednesday, the 7th of June, 2023 by 10 a.m. prompt. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Seconder. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Vincent Ekene Ofumelu. I rise to second the motion that the House should adjourn for 10 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion for adjournment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. House will have adjourned tomorrow, 10 a.m.